magical white continent of Antarctica. It's a vast, untamed wilderness with the giant ice shelves and rugged mountains and abundant marine wildlife. It is even more magical than I could ever have imagined. It is the coldest, windiest, highest and driest continent on the planet. But somehow those brutal elements make for a raw beauty that is just beyond compare. It is just such a privilege to be here. Getting to Antarctica is all part of the adventure, and nowhere near as arduous as you might expect. After flying into Ushuaia, we board Scenic Eclipse and settle in, ready to take on the Drake Passage, which will ultimately deliver us to the Antarctic Peninsula. Argentina's southernmost city is known as the Little City at the End of the Earth, and from here, it's through the Beagle Channel, our last sight of land, before we head off into the sunset and hit the high seas of the Drake. Depending on conditions, you can experience what they call the Drake Shake or the Drake Lake. We've landed somewhere between the two extremes, and thanks to the state-of-the-art technology of our Discovery yacht, it's been smooth sailing.
The ship is built with Antarctica, with the polar region in mind. It's ice strengthened, so we don't worry about going into the ice. But from the technology side, they give us a lot of power, for example, in the propulsion. They give us this extra oversized stabilizer, so that's why you feel very comfortable here to go to these most remote areas in the world, in ultra-luxury, I may say.
This truly is a journey of discovery, with the itinerary constantly changing and evolving to adapt to the environment.
When we start, we have plan A for 3 hours. Then we are ready on plan D. It's constantly adjusting to the weather. We are monitoring weather forecast, ice forecast every single day and adjusting our possible places to visit. So yes, it's constantly evolving plan where we are moving towards Antarctica. Even this cruise, I don't know where we're going to end up. We will be
in Antarctica.
In Antarctica, definitely, but which places we are going to visit and how we're going to finish this cruise all will depend on the weather and ice conditions.
And less than 2 days from leaving land in Ushuaia, we arrive at what is surely one of the most magical locations on the planet. We're in a place called Paradise Harbour, and for us guests, it really is the icy paradise of our dreams.
Wow, waking up to this, there's nothing like it.
It's just a grand sculpture garden with the elements as the artist. It's incredible. So Sam, you're in your element here.
Absolutely. When you're down here, you can see bergs that calved off before I was born and are still floating around in this incredibly cold water. The size and the colors, the infinite number of shapes and arches. I've never seen anything like it anywhere else in my life.
Do you have names for all of these shapes and sizes and forms of ice?
There are for some of the big ones. So out in the Scotia Sea, those massive tabletop bergs, those are tabular icebergs. And those don't exist anywhere else on Earth. You could go to Greenland, you won't see that there. It's only here. Then you have some of the things that we're surrounded by, which are called growlers, which are just a small version of an iceberg, basically.
When you look out there and you see the variety of shapes and that it's all kind of shaped by nature, it's pretty amazing.
It's extraordinary. Yeah, it looks like it was sculpted intentionally.
And the comforts of Scenic Eclipse are only ever a short Zodiac ride away.
Being
at sea invokes images of cramped cabins and confined spaces, but these scenic suites are as luxurious and spacious as any of the finest hotels in the world. But there are no hotels anywhere in the world that can offer an ever-changing view like this. This is a deluxe veranda suite, and believe it or not, this super plush room is the base level of accommodation on board, which ranges all the way up to the oversized owner's penthouse suite. It offers the kind of comfort you'd never expect in one of the most remote places on the planet. With the weather on our side, we make an afternoon stop at Damoy Point. It's a chance to stretch the legs and follow in the footsteps of early explorers, and more recently, research scientists. This rocky outcrop surrounded by glaciers is sometimes referred to as the world's most southerly waiting room. So what was the purpose of this hut?
So it was kind of a way station. It was a place used by the British Antarctic Survey when they were bringing personnel down, and if the ice was too high and they couldn't get the boats as far as they wanted, they would drop people here, and then they would wait for a flight onwards to places like Rotherham Station.
So how long would they have to stay?
So apparently the average wait was about 7.5 days, which is quite a long time in this little hut.